Hi, friends. So I'm back today sharing one of my favorite rehab exercises that we often use in our early postpartum recovery. You will see this in our free download of what to expect in the fourth trimester, which gives people some suggestions of some different exercises they can easily start to integrate to get moving again after baby. So this is the heel slide. I have a couple of props with me today to show you how you can set yourself up for the most success, as well as some variations to increase the challenge as you get really good at executing this movement. So I'm going to invite you to come down. You'll notice I have a small towel roll here, and this is just to keep my low back to the ground. I have a more of a tendency to have an anterior tilt, which means I like to spill my soup forward. And so by placing something underneath your low back and filling this space, it effectively brings the ground up to you. So you don't have to work hard to get those ribs to kind of soften down to the ground. Otherwise, especially in that early postpartum period, you'll have a tendency to overgrip and use those rectus muscles to really pull those ribs back into position because that's where we've told you we wanted you to be. But that can actually contribute to further upper ab gripping and less activation of those lower abs. So a rolled up towel create as much support as you need to effectively bring the ground up to you. And then I have a little towel here for my foot for a heel slide. I want you to do this really slowly. So people have a tendency to like just be moving their legs without a lot of connection or really feeling their abs. And the slower you go and the more you connect your exhalation breath, the more you're going to feel those low abs gather and connect. So we're going to start with a nice support here. If you tend to use your upper chest and neck, or someone's told you you're really using your upper neck, you can also bolster your head up a little bit to put yourself on a pillow. So if you're very early postpartum, I encourage you to have a pillow underneath your head. Let's start with one foot bent on the ground, the other leg, just because of where my yoga mat is sitting for this video is it's not starting from the same point, but that's okay. I want you to find the hip bones and go in about 1 inch and gently press down. Those are where your lower TA muscles, you'll feel that connection happening when you add that gentle little pelvic floor lift and an exhale breath. You'll feel some wrapping or gathering or narrowing of those lower belly muscles. You might even feel like your fingertips have been gently pressed out. As you practice this heel slide, the goal is to keep this pelvis as still as possible. So you don't want your hips lifting off the floor. You don't want your back arching. You want to maintain a nice braced position here using your breath to help keep your body as still as possible. So let's start with an inhalation breath, feeling that rib cage expand. As you exhale, gather your pelvic floor and core and blow out. Get a little stretch here in that hip flexor, and then bring it back on inhale. So each time you're exhaling, the low part of your belly should be getting flatter and more firm, less squishy. And bring it back. And as you get that, as that becomes easier for you, if you can increase the challenge, you can start by lifting the opposite leg up. So we're going to go into a supine tabletop here. Starts to look like more like a dead bug, doesn't it? You still want to keep that pelvis as still as possible. So as that leg is up, and even as you bring that leg up, you don't want to be rocking and rolling away from the ground here. So engage your core, relax your upper neck. So you want this action to be in that low belly. And if you feel like your upper abs are starting to take over, you can relax the chest by bringing your arms up into your 90 degrees. It looks like a cactus on the ground. This is a great progression. You're going to work on keeping this low pelvis area as still as possible as you slide your leg out with control, bringing it back in. Exhale, extend. And inhale to bring it back in. So just another way of starting to build up some connection to your deeper core muscles in a way that allows you to progress, get really, really good at this basic stuff. And then it's going to be so much easier to integrate your deep core and pelvic floor into every single move that you're going to be doing in exercise and in life, because these are anticipatory muscles that just know what to do, but we often lose that connection during pregnancy and postpartum. And we have to make some adjustments to our habits and our patterns to make our cores as strong as possible. So give those heel slide progressions a try, and we'll see you next time.